This video was brought to you by Stormberg, ABRP Planner, MisterGreen, Kempower and Marcus Bil. Yo, what's up? We're now sitting in a Ford Mustang Mach-E GT. This is the top of the crop Mustang. I think it's even the most powerful Mustang out there. It has over 800 Newton meter of torque, 486 horsepower, untamed ponies. I'm going this way. Gee. I don't know what's up with this, but you guys can see the numbers here. This is front and the rear motor, and when I floor it, it just spins. Right? Oh, slow down. Barely legal here. But I mean, this car is quite brutal. Wait, does it have that instant torque? No, well, it has instant torque, but we just don't go instantly like a Tesla, because it tends to, it goes like this, and then it spins, and then. But Tesla, or for example BMW, will just punch. You get that punch, or bam! You get hit in the, well, you get pushed in the seat, kinda. This one doesn't really do it, even though it has lots of power. So I take a different route now, so it won't be too boring for you guys. We will just start with a Birger and Haug speed bumps. So it's recommended to drive 10 kilometers per hour here. We do 20, yeah, why not? Yeah, look at that. So it has the, what was it called again? But it has the adaptive dampers. It was some kind of something, right? Whatever it's called. So I feel like it has good comfort. However, it just has a little weird bounce. Wait, that's MG. Well, that looks just like Doraemon. Hey, yo, what's up, Doraemon? Huh? เป็นไงบ้างอ่ะ huh? ได้ไปแอลก่อน huh? Okay, ผมม่วนอ่ะ okay. Yeah, this is what it feels like when people speak different language in the live stream chat. Like, yeah, Bjørn, what's it? And we were like, dude, speak English, okay? Oh, okay. What the heck is rattling in the? Oh, maybe. Okay, let's do this and then take an angle. Okay, it has this side movement as expected for a car like this. We just kind of purposely go over the. Okay, yeah. So I feel like it has that typical SUV crossover ride. It's not as sporty as, for example, a Tesla. But Tesla is one of the sportiest SUV, my crossovers out there. Model Y, I'm referring to. This one, we can try it now. Oh, it just kind of wags like a boat. See? But it tends to change distance. I mean, it changes direction fast. I like that. It just wags a bit. That's it. So when you go fast around corners, you just kind of have to hang in there, right? Like that. So yeah, so that's good. We tested that one. But I feel like, I think it was even the Volvo C40 was even tighter than this one at least. But at least to give you guys an idea, it's more comfortable. That's it, yeah. So, okay, it's the GT, it's the beefy version of the Mach-E Mustang, but it's still comfy over bumps. So, I guess I haven't tried it on a racetrack for obvious reasons, because when I borrow, actually most press cars I borrow, I will have to sign a contract, and then usually in most contracts it will say that I am not allowed to take it on the racetrack. I think the exception was the Hyundai Kona I hypermile. That was technically on a racetrack, but that was just hypermiling. Oh, it's quick though, yeah. But I'm going to show you something here. There's one problem with this car, which is the power limit. So you get 5 seconds of maximum power, then it's kind of nerfed or limited. So the number here is misreported. If it goes too high, then it caps, it seems to cap at 230, 240 kilowatt. But if you're doing the math based on this one and this one, the voltage and the amps, you will see that we actually hit 1060 amp roughly. And then based on, yeah, so it's roughly 370 something kilowatt, which translates to almost 500 horsepower actually, so slightly more than the specification. But the problem is that it's kind of hard to demonstrate on this road here. It's almost impossible to demonstrate here because the speed limits are too low. So, but yeah, at least for now, when we do short bursts like this, then we will see that we hit 1000 and whatever it was. Yeah, you hit that one at least, you see. But if you do this several times in a row, you will actually start getting some limits. But yeah, we can't push the limits here. So at least I show you that yes, in many cases you don't hit the limit. But if you really push it hard on the autobahn or on a racetrack, you will then feel a limit, especially just accelerating from 0 to roughly when you hit 120 already, 120 kilometers per hour, which is roughly 75 miles per hour, you will already feel that this one here starts limiting, and you don't get 1060 amps anymore, or you don't get that almost 500 horsepower. You are then limited to roughly 400 horsepower, and then actually it becomes worse and worse. So that is actually, I would consider it a fairly big disadvantage, since this is the GT. It's from the G to the T, the beefiest Mustang out there, the real Mustang. But the Mustang, the horse gets exhausted quite easily. So yeah, to the point where actually if you try to race this one, the GT versus the regular all-wheel drive, from what I heard, I haven't tested it, but from I read a test from somewhere, I don't remember who, it was a car test day. They found out that the all-wheel drive is faster to, let's say, 150 kilometers per hour. And then once this car limits the power, then it basically becomes just like the regular all-wheel drive. What the heck is this? Baustelle? Wait, I didn't sign up for this. Shit. Okay, back. All right, let's hammer it. Well, this is a real American muscle car. Even when you're cruising at 40 kilometers per hour. Let's show here. I hope I have some tires left. Sorry, Ford, for ruining your tires. Even when I'm cruising at around 40 kilometers per hour and I floor it, it just spins. Okay, let me show you guys Autopilot, or the shark attack. Okay, now it's active. I don't know what it's called. Every car has their own Autopilot system, but it seems to work fairly good. See, it takes the curve. It doesn't do any weird shit, go to the left, go to the right. And we have, of course, different shark attack sound now. But when it stops though, it seems to completely stop. Sotp. Okay, it goes into some kind of fail-safe mode now, assuming that I have fainted. Okay, so that's good. So it does a pretty good job of auto steering. However, it seems to not work that great on B roads, only on A roads like here, on autobahns. So, alright, what else is it? Yeah, I should start talking about that. The problem with this car is that it is thirsty. It has poor aerodynamics. That's one thing. Drive coefficient, CD value is 0.30. But also, I mean, yeah, people talk about the CDA. Yes, I know about the CDA. It's actually, CD is kind of useless unless you don't also talk about the A, which is the area, frontal area. But the CDA here is also poor because this shape here is, I mean, is a tall crossover. So compared to, for example, Tesla or MEB platform, Skoda Enyaq, well, they have way better aerodynamics. So that's why this car kind of suffers when we have to go, well, let me go this way. When we have to go kind of slow, then this car, oh sorry, when we have to go fast, schnell, wait, maybe I should go that way instead. Yeah, let's go here. So, and that's one thing. The poor drag makes this car inefficient, but also I get the impression that the drivetrain is also inefficient. And if you see here, we are on permanent all-wheel drive. So when we regen, see that it regens a little bit different from the front and the rear. Could also be a little bit lag. And also when you floor it, yeah, wait. Which motor was it that went the most here? Wait, is it front motor? Oh wait, maybe I flipped them around. Maybe this is front and maybe this is rear and this is front. Okay, it could be that I changed them. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I think this is a problem. It's a permanent all-wheel drive, and from what I've seen, other electric cars with permanent all-wheel drives tends to be inefficient. And there's probably a reason why Tesla and Hyundai, Kia, and even Porsche does it. They decouple, and the MEB platform, they decouple one motor when just cruising to save energy. And I suspect that actually, you guys remember in the old days when P85D came out, the beefy Tesla, the first all-wheel drive Tesla, it was super thirsty. People were reporting 250 watt-hour per kilometer. It was a lot thirstier than the rear-wheel drive. And I suspect that Tesla ran both motors, their induction motors. I suspect they ran them all on all-wheel drive mode. And then they introduced the torque sleep, if you guys remember. They even had a little vlog about it, something. And the torque sleep, what it does was that it actually ran the front motor, the more efficient front motor, the smaller one, less powerful, and then the more powerful rear motor was just sleeping, and that made wonders. And I did some tests back in the days, and at least the test could point towards that it would save roughly 7% energy. Yeah, because back then you kind of had to enable, when you enable range mode, supposedly you enable torque sleep, but then they made it default, so you don't have to worry about running range mode. So now, yeah, so basically based on so many years of experience now, I claim that the problem with this car is that maybe it has 2 permanent magnet motors, and with 2 PM motors, you cannot decouple one of them, or you can just not freewheel them. There will be some resistance. That's why they have to run on both of them. They can do some tricks, like some car manufacturer, like the eGMP platform. They have a they call it, it's a clutch, but it's technically not a clutch because it's not partly connected. It's either on or off. I don't remember what it is called again. They also call it a clutch. It's like a variant, a clutch that is only on and off, right? It's more like a coupling on off. But by doing that, they can then decouple the front motor and only run the rear motor. Tesla, they have a different approach, and also actually Mercedes. I think it was was it EQB or EQA? But they have a mix of induction motor and permanent magnet motor, and the induction motor can then freewheel without any resistance, and the permanent magnet motor will then run all the time, and that's how they save energy. But this one doesn't have it, and this one has the poor aerodynamics, so that's why this car is quite thirsty. Because when I tried the rear-wheel drive, it was not that bad, but I guess the problem with that car, the rear-wheel drive, was still the drag coefficient, or the CDA. So actually, if you want the best efficiency and you want the Mach-E, you have to go for the rear-wheel drive, or get some other car, because this one has a big battery. That's good. It's a big battery, 99 kilowatt hour, 99 kilowatt stunde. But well, it's technically 90 und 9. No, it has to be 9. What is 90? It's 90 plus 9. That's how it is in Deutsch. But okay, anyway, I fail in German. But still, despite having that big battery, they have some buffer, and I can show you here, by the way, since we have, this is car scanner, I can show you that. Okay, so when we display 81, well, the display shows 81%, but the real state of charge is actually 78%. And if I would charge the car to 100%, I don't remember how it was. I think 100% is around 96% true state of charge. So there's a little bit of a hidden buffer there. You'd think you're charging to 100%, but you are not, which has some benefits. For example, you can regen, you can, oh, what's up over there? Yeah, but that means that out of those 99 kilowatt hour, you have to have some kind of braking protection, otherwise you will destroy the battery if you discharge it down to 0. So this one, of course, every battery has a braking protection. I don't know, usually roughly 10% of the battery capacity, or maybe less. But you can only get roughly 86 kilowatt hour out of this if you go from at least from 100% down to 0. And one other thing I'll explain, by the way, is that this one here. Wait, not that one. This one. The kilowatt hour that the car reports left, you can see that it's dropping and dropping. When this one goes to 0%, we will still have, I think it was 4 kilowatt hour left. So it seems that this car has a little buffer at the bottom, and you can actually drive below 0 for quite a while before the car stops completely. So just bear that in mind. Do I recommend it? No, because I don't know how much you have, and even Tesla has a 0 buffer, but then if you try to use it from time to time, the battery might be a little bit not correctly calibrated, and then you might stop at 0, or maybe even slightly before 0. It happened to me once. I stopped slightly before 0 on the Tesla Model S, Millennium Falcon. It was also another time I stopped with 14 kilometers left. That was on Optimus Prime, Tesla Model X. And another time with the Tesla Model X, I stopped with 3 kilometers left. And you're supposed to be able to go, let's say, 10, 20 kilometers beyond 0%. So that's why I don't recommend people to go below 0%. So on a regular basis, okay. If it's like an emergency, some car, one fast charger is kaput, and you just have to crawl over to the next one, and there's no other possibilities. Yes, but even so, I would still recommend you to maybe just charge on AC if you can, to avoid going below 0. Because it's the risk of running out of juice. I mean, when you run out of juice, then you kind of need to spend a lot of time recovering. But okay, enough about that one. Oh, what the heck? What's so much traffic here? Haugerud, hva farsken? So that is the problem, because this has a big battery, yes, but because it's so thirsty, then it actually has roughly the same, or maybe even worse. I don't remember now. No, I remember that. It has worse range than, for example, Tesla Model Y. Tesla Model Y has way way smaller battery, and Model Y is also faster. And Model Y doesn't have wheel spin when you floor it. And as far as I understand, Model Y does not have this power limit that this one has. Or okay, if you go for something less powerful, like Skoda Enyaq RS Coupe. It's a lot slower actually, but that one is way more efficient and also smaller battery. So it's like, wait, dude, just go, man. What are you doing? Did you buy your driver's license at the Biltema or Claes Olsson, or was it Rusta? That is the question. Oh, you don't have turn signals, you mother trucker. I hate people who don't use turn signals. Yeah, okay. Anyway, let's not rant about that shit. But you see, this is like, I feel like this is like a fat e-tron, because okay, you have a big ass battery, but they made it inefficient. And even especially nowadays, the electricity is kind of high, so even home charging is more expensive, and also charging at high power charge is expensive. Today is the 1st of August, and Recharge, which used to be Fortum Charge and Drive, they raised the price on high power charging. So now in Norway, 1 kilowatt-stund costs 7.5 NOK, or 7.49, but 7.5 NOK per kilowatt hour. Yeah. So then it doesn't help that this car consumes 200 to 300 watt-hour per kilometer when you drive on various situations. So that is my complaint about this car. But okay, is this car just that pure bad? No, it's not. It's not, okay. Oh, nice Taycan. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's sexy ass. Oh, damn. I like the Taycan's back better than the front. The front, look at it, he's freaking crying. It's like sad face Taycan, but the back is nice. Just whoop that ass. Okay, but the good thing here is that we have fairly good ride, very comfortable. The car is quiet. I can now get on my more regular stretch, and this car is quick as long as you don't have the power limit. It feels quick and fun to drive. Oh yeah. Oh shit. Okay. Wait. Let's see. And it's, well, when it comes to space though, it's fairly spacious. I mean, there are worse cars than this. For example, EQC. You know. And this screen, okay, I like the screen. It's fairly large. And also I like that you can have several things here. Like I can have tire pressure here. I can have the phone stuff here. I can have the trip meter here. I have some other shit here. And then you can do this. And you can also make it larger if you want to. And then you can go to navigation. And now we have the large navigation. You can make it smaller or larger. So there is at least some flexibility here. So that's nice. And it's, yeah, the big volume knob here. One thing I don't like, again, you know, what ABC always be complaining. No, but if you watch a reviewer, you want to, of course, listen to the negative stuff, not only the positive stuff, right? One thing I mean, I kind of gotten used to it now, but it still feels a bit weird, is that the screen here is very horizontal. They should at least try to tilt it a little bit up. That's my personal opinion. Many other cars with big screens, they will have a slight tilt, but then some cars again, they have too much tilt. That's also a little bit bad, because it works for tall people, yes, but for me, a small Asian, then even this one feels a bit weird, you know. So, but okay, let me just drive my regular route over here. What other stuff is good with this car then? Well, fairly okay trunk space. And in the back also, I didn't bother making a video of the child seat test, but it has some holes in the back there for the ISOFIX, so that was good. But actually, when I said the trunk was fairly large, it was actually not that large. It couldn't fit the Cybex e-Priam without taking the wheels. But as long as I took off the wheels, it was fine. Maybe I could have tried harder by removing that small space under the trunk, but there was not much space under there. Many other cars you can at least free up a lot of space under the trunk by taking off the foam, but here it wasn't really like that. So yeah, in a way, I have somewhat mixed feeling when it comes to space on this car. Some things, okay, feels somewhat spacious. Some things doesn't feel that spacious. But I like the center console. I like that it has 2 stories here of storage. We have this, I like this bridge design, and we can also put my phone here. But it's only one wireless charging pad. The other one is just a storage for a phone, but it doesn't really fit my Samsung Galaxy 9S even. Wait, what's it called? S9 Plus, I mean. It almost fits there, so they should at least made it slightly bigger maybe. But I guess it's not the worst. It's not the worst center console I've seen. It has, for example, 2 cup holders here where they should be, right? For example, Polestar has 1 cup holder, and the cup holder is like here. So at least here we have good ergonomics. This one also fairly large here. But one thing I'm missing is that this armrest thing here has only 1 lock position there. You cannot raise it, you cannot extend it. Many cars, I think it was the Audi, you can do both things. So yeah, and we have some ambient lighting here. That's cool. The Bang & Olufsen sound system, by the way, I rated it just 7 out of 10. It wasn't that great, even though it's a Bang & Olufsen. It had good, nice, firm bass, but the bass was not too linear in the lower and below 60 hertz, and there was some rattling from mid bass from the doors, and also it lacked a little bit of clarity. But yeah. And what else is it? I should mention. Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, one thing though, maybe you have heard about it, that but the Mach-E, it charges dog slow past 80%, right? No, they have fixed it. So I did a charging test, and it actually now the charging curve has been slightly tuned down, so it goes slower to 80% than before, but at least past 80% you still get 38 kilowatt, and actually it has okay speed, even up until around 95% you get over 30 kilowatt. So that means that back in the days before, you could basically just fast charge to 80% and then you just should leave, because you only receive 11 kilowatt past 80%. Now at least you can charge it to 95% in relatively okay time, but it's a big battery, so it still takes over an hour. Wait, how much was it again? I don't remember. But yeah, that's kind of madness to charge over an hour on a fast charger. So again, it brings down to the problem is that this car is so inefficient. It has a big battery, okay, it peaks at 150 kilowatt, but 150 kilowatt on this car, because it's so inefficient or so thirsty, is worse than, for example, 125, 130 kilowatt on a Tesla, for example, because the efficiency is king. Yeah. So if there was one thing I would wish, was that Ford should have put more effort into making this car more efficient, and they could have made the battery smaller, and they could have made the car cheaper, and it would be lighter, it will have better acceleration, it will have better efficiency, it will have better braking, better handling. Yeah, pretty much. Did I forget anything? There are so many benefits of having more efficient car. You can get away with smaller battery. But okay, anyway, I will not complain too much because you guys have seen in the past that when I make this ASMR or this driving impression, I love the car, like to the point where I would consider buying them, like the Skoda Enyaq. I love the looks, like the EQE. Oh yeah, it's just, you know. Okay, it's kind of expensive. When it comes to this car here, yeah, I have that. I think personally, for me at least, I wouldn't buy it because I feel like it. Yeah, I'm not sure how to say. You guys have heard me. Whatever. I don't have to repeat myself, right? But there's actually one other thing I should mention. I watched on Sandy Munro, and he just happened to have reverse engineered this car, and the under the hood, it's a freaking. Oh, it's always a Toyota, slow Toyota. But under the hood, it's just a freaking nightmare here with big mess of hoses under the hood here. You guys should watch Sandy Munro. I think he knows what he's doing. You know, he's yeah. But it works. You know, the car works. It gets you from A to B. That is what is important. It's fast. It charges relatively fast. You know, it has pretty good 1,000 kilometer challenge. I actually didn't do 1,000 kilometer challenge in this car, but I suspect it should be something like 10.5 hours. But I didn't bother doing it. I did it with the reverse drive, and I did it in 10 hours and 25 minutes. So I was like, okay, whatever. I went for the OnlyFans run. I prefer OnlyFans if I can choose between OnlyFans and hammering. Yeah. So the thing is that when I look at the Sandy Munro, he kind of made fun of this car, and I guess for a good reason. Fair and square, because Ford did some weird choices, I guess. Lots of hoses, kind of poor design on everything. For example, versus Tesla again. And people will call me a Tesla fanboy because I'm praising Tesla all the time. But dude, Tesla, they actually make good cars, all right? They might have some stuff you don't like about it, but they actually make good cars. Same with MEB platform. Okay, the whole rapid gate part, okay, it kind of sucks, but by the end of the day, it was just 1-2 minutes slower, so it wasn't really that big of a deal. And they still made efficient cars, and you have good space utilization, and so on with the MEB cars. You know, like ID3, ID4. Okay, maybe they're kind of thirsty ID4, but at least Skoda Enyaq is not that thirsty. But when it comes to this one, the big mess of hoses, I have a good analogy now, which is that, you know, I used to be a programmer, coder, and you can make messy code, like with some weird loops and stuff and whatever, and assign some variables that you really don't have to do some kind of weird shit, right? And the code will execute, it will work, but it might be messy. If you one day need to change the code, it will be kind of hard to change it because you kind of dug yourself into the weird code. But it works. It might execute slightly slower, right? It might take up a little bit more space, but it gets the work done. Versus if you make a more elegant code if you know the language better, the programming language, and you make a more compact code, and you make it smaller, more compact, and then it's easier to understand what's going on, and you might program it to the way where it's also easier to change it. Maybe you want to have TDD, test-driven development, so you can make changes without, and you can check immediately if you broke something, right? Something like that. So, in my opinion, Tesla or some of the other car manufacturers, the MEB or the eGMP platform, they are making good code, whereas this one is more like messy code, but it works. That's the main point, is that it works. And I also have to admit that I have made really messy code in my programming career, and it punched me in the face the day when I had to, or several times when I had to make changes, and it was a freaking nightmare. It was a freaking jungle for me to try to figure out how to make changes, and then it broke in production because I made some changes and they didn't have any TDD back then. It was just no tests. Yeah, and that's what I feel about this car. So you just have to know it. That's the way it is. I just try to be as honest as possible. But you know, I'm not saying that this is a bad car, right? Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad car. It's comfortable. It has the good things, but it also has the bad things with, I guess, every car I test. But yeah, so I guess I will just end it here soon. I will just go home to Folkets Kebab and then just oh, fy faen, det er deilig. Oh, shit. But okay, maybe I should give you guys some recommendations. Should you buy this one, or should you get the regular all-wheel drive, or should you even get the rear-wheel drive? Well, these ones, the GT has a slightly different styling. It has the different dampers, and I don't remember now. It's been a while since I tried the other Mach-E, but I like the ride here. It's good. I like it. I can get used to it. So at least if you go for the GT, I think you will get these nicer seats with more side support, and that's one thing I didn't like about the regular Mustang. It was too flat, too American. But when it comes to the power limit, okay, this, by the way, this car has some kind of track mode. They didn't dare call it track mode, otherwise Tesla would sue them. But it has some kind of track mode. Okay, it has more power than the regular all-wheel drive, but the problem is that it has the power limit. And also, when I tried the other day, I had roughly 50% state of charge the other day. And then when I floor it, I couldn't get the 486 horsepower as advertised, and it didn't do any crazy hammering or yoing and what's. No, it was just the battery was roughly at this kind of temperature, but then I couldn't get more than roughly, if you look here, it was roughly 700 amp, and I did quick math that equals to roughly 350 horsepower, which means that in many conditions this car will have the same power as the regular all-wheel drive version. So yeah, so you just have to know that you pay extra, but you might not be able to utilize all that power always. So, but of course some people, they don't care, they buy it. I've seen the car with this mustard yellow color, and I like the color, by the way. But if you care about the money, then just go for the all-wheel drive instead. It's still pretty fast and fun to drive. But if you don't care about the power and you don't need all-wheel drive, then I actually recommend you to go for the rear-wheel drive, because then you have better efficiency. You take away one of the disadvantages with this car. Yeah. Wait, why am I driving around here? Okay, I'm supposed to end now. Let's just go. Let's go home. Let's go home. Yes. Teslabjorn, go home. Yeah. So I think that's it, man. I'm gonna probably get lots of hate comments here because be like, oh, why are you hating on Ford, man? What did they do wrong? No, but if I was not honest about cars I test, then I might as well stop reviewing cars, because then people will buy this car, for example. I say, oh, it's awesome, man. The acceleration is freaking brutal, and you have plenty of space here. They buy it and they be like, hey, this car has less space than Model Y. Why didn't you tell me? Hey, this car has power limit. Why didn't you tell me? Right? So that's why. Yes. I think that's gonna be it. Yes, I'm gonna end now at Folkets Kebab. Wait, is it still? Let me check here. Yeah, they still have the Texas Burger sign there. Yeah, but it's not Texas Burger. It's Folkets Kebab. So yeah. Maybe I should try it one day. I should really try Folkets Kebab one day. They are still open. They close at 11. Yeah. But, okay, one thing though. One thing that I don't like is that when you put the car in park and you have the car on, and this is really practical for Tesla or for many other cars, electric cars. It's very practical to have the car on, and you go outside and you do something, right? You put the baby in this baby seat or something. This is super annoying. Listen. What the heck? Why does it honk at me? It is so cringe like that. Like, I heard you can code it to get rid of this feature, but it should be off by default because it's a freaking... Wait, is it light? Oh, I like the lights, by the way. The lights are... Yeah, I like the lights. They have the right warmth. It seems to be 2.7K. Oh, no, it's 2,700 Kelvin or something like that. Let me see, is this one also... Yeah, same temperature here and here, that's also nice. Some cars, they will have cold there and then warm there, or the other way around. But here, this is good. But yeah, but that feature, why do you honk at me? It's an electro auto. It doesn't pollute, it doesn't make any noise. We can just have it on, and then we can go out, do some shit, and then we come back in here. Yes. And even if you forgot to turn off the ignition, then at least it should be able to... Well, maybe I should test... Oh shit, I need to honk again. Okay, shit, this is so cringe. I will test something. Okay. I will test if I lock it, will it power down? It doesn't. MEB cars will power down automatically. Porsche, Audi also, I think, will power down the car if you lock it. Yeah, but not this one. No, not today, son, not today. But okay, anyway, this video was too long again, as usual, but hopefully it was useful for you guys. So, as always, wait, what am I supposed to say again? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later. Okay, hasta la vista.